Thank you. Okay. It is 11 o'clock on September 23rd, and this is our special meeting. And I will call the meeting to order and ask that we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay. So we have a few things that needed some expedited decision making from us. But before we do that, we have an amendment or approval of the agenda. I have an amendment that I feel is important for discussion. So I would ask that this be a discussion item D, and it is the community resource officer position that we were using opioid funds to fund in conjunction with the city of Brookings. So I would ask that be added to this. So CRO discussion, are you okay with that?
Absolutely.
Yep. Any other amendments, discussion items? No?
The only thing might be if we wanted to consider any immediate output from the meeting yesterday.
I was thinking the same. While it's kind of hot in our minds, discussing, follow up, follow through kind of actions. If we are going to have a commissioner represent us in this building of Southern Region.
I think we should add that then and
Okay.
do that,
So-
so we can keep the progression going with those
that'll be-
conversations.
That'll be E.
Okay.
We'll call it AOC District 4 follow-up.
Yep. Perfect.
Okay. If there's nothing further, I'll entertain a motion to approve this amended agenda.
I will make a motion to approve the amended agenda as discussed.
Second?
Any further discussion?
No.
Okay, hearing none, I'll call for the question. Commissioner Coker?
Aye.
Commissioner Hollinger?
Yes.
Aye as well.
Could I ask if our Director of Operations is joining, or is he on?
I'm sure he can be available for anything that we need to discuss. I didn't know if he needed to be
Well,
present or not.
I don't want to bother him, but as I look at the agenda, are there any of these items that, either the new ones or the old ones, where we're going to need him? And I was just trying to find out if he was going to be available. I know he's been involved with the negotiations and review of some of these things here. Do we need him for the forensic audit discussion?
Quite possibly.
And then we can adjust our agenda sequence to meet his calendaring.
Okay. Director Fitzgerald.
Hello.
We are in this special meeting, and there's a few items that we feel that you may have some value weighing in on. We're discussing the transfer station bids, the forensic audit bids, the resolution, and we also added CRO discussion from yesterday's city council meeting discussion, and then AOC District 4 follow-up from our meeting yesterday.
Okay.
So to begin, I'll go ahead and start with the discussion and approval bid for the Port Orford Transfer Station. Now we have 3 bids in front of us. Actually, we have 2 bids. We have a slate bid part 1, a slate bid part 2, and and another bid from Dave Hoover. So Ted, you worked on this. What are we looking at here? What are we?
So the transfer station is a decrepit building that's in advanced disrepair. It's been ignored. We have the money to fix it. No one was able to get organized enough to get the bids done for a bunch of years. And so I'm going to give Rabia the credit for getting that out there, getting people to actually follow up, go look at the site. We had people go look at the site, both Dave Hoover Construction and Slate, and the responsive bids were with Slate. Slate includes engineering.
Yeah, I see that.
And it looks like a more complete bid that addresses. Well, it's more expensive. I am not confident that we wouldn't be looking at change orders with the other bid just because of the lack of specificity. And so I think that we know exactly what we're getting with the slate bid. They went in to, you can see that they took photographs of the various issues that are the structural problems, and they're going to be addressing those.
Right.
And in either case, both of this it's a relatively. I mean, it's gonna safeguard the building for about 5 years. It's not a permanent fix, but nevertheless, that's what we have before us. I would recommend the slate bid at this point so that we can get. Also, the other thing is, it's important that we get the work done expeditiously, and they say they can do it. So the quicker we get it done, the better. It is. You'll notice that you've got pieces of the building that have blown off in the winter, and that's a hazard for people who are using the transfer station. There's just a lot of issues there.
And this will be funded through our waste and recycling, but restricted funds.
Right. We've got the restricted funds in there that are available for this. Correct.
Okay. Well, any discussion on this?
No, I reviewed it and we discussed it a bit at our DCO meeting last week, so I'm comfortable approving it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think another winter is just going to make it more expensive. We need to get it taken care of. And by the way, I think somebody can get really hurt out there.
Yeah.
So let's get it taken care of.
Okay.
And the sleep was just fine.
Then I'll make a motion then to approve the bid from Slate Construction for a total of $123,937 to repair the Port Orford Transfer Station.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion?
Nope.
Hearing none, I'll call for the question. Commissioner Coker.
Aye.
Commissioner Hollinger.
Yes.
And I as well. Okay, Ted. Let's move forward with Slate.
Okay. Will do.
Next up is the bid for forensic auditor. Now, this one I have a bit of background on. I participated in all of the discussions with the potential auditors, and we have one audit from it's REDW. I'm not sure exactly how to say that. Redo, maybe, I don't know, but they have a pretty expansive team that they're prepared to dispatch for this project. I do believe that is our probably most prudent way forward. Mm-hmm. The initial scope of work is to identify all of the identify whether all of our dispersions from the Treasury to each district, including the County General Fund, are correct over the last 4 years. If not, we make the changes. The idea behind this is that we get this information to us in a complete manner before the budget season of the 26-27 budget, so that we go into the budget season and all of the districts go into the budget season knowing exactly what they have to work with. If there are inconsistencies or if there are anomalies that need further evaluation, then we will go into that. But those aren't as time restraining as getting the Treasury itself in an accurate state.
So from the auditor's perspective, they've got 40-some special districts out there that have been receiving funds from the county. And they're, in order for the audit to be successful, they're going to have to be responsive to the inquiry from the auditor to get in timely information. Are there any other departments in the county and/or elected or led organizations that will be tasked with supplying information for the auditor?
Not for this portion, I don't believe. The majority of the information will be available to the auditor through our current treasurer. The treasurer has access to all of the deposits and disbursements. It's a matter of whether or not all of those were correct. We know for a fact that we've had multiple incorrect disbursements, but the key to that is that the receivers are the ones who caught the inadequacies, not us. And so, there are a number of districts that don't have the bandwidth to probably be able to have seen those things. For instance, I brought up a while back, but we had school districts receiving the wrong funds. When only one of those school districts caught it, had that not been caught, who knows what we would be looking at. We also have the scenario with the ombudsman that was overpaid $300,000 of county funds over a 2-year period, which we didn't receive any interest on that dollars that would have been, had it been in our account, would have been gaining interest at a roughly 5% rate, which 5% over $300,000 is substantial, even more substantial when we are in financial crisis. So those are just a few of what we know. We also know of some small fire districts that reported receiving the wrong funds. And the corrections were also very inappropriate. The corrections that were stated from our treasury back to these districts were to just hold on to the money and that corrections would come in the next form of payments, which obviously we know is not a way that we would condone doing business. We would ask that the payments be returned and then correct payments be made, but that also did not happen. So in terms of the corrections, we don't know for certain that they were performed correctly. So this was priority number one for what I felt with the forensic auditors that I relayed to them, just getting our treasury cleaned up. And then if we start to identify, like I said, inadequacies or inaccuracies or maybe systemic trends that we see that came out of there regarding our own general fund, then we retain them to take a deeper look into those.
And this particular auditor has calculated they will meet our timeline.
They have. They have a team that they estimate that they would assign 4 to 6 of their auditors to this as a team and attack it in that manner. And so I feel that they were the most prepared to take this on.
And then in terms of contract management, there has been a question raised relative to progress payments being made as opposed to just calendared payments that are required. Is there any sense of agreement that we should ask for progress payments based on achieving milestones versus a calendarized payment schedule where we just pay quarterly or monthly or something like that? Is there any virtue in considering that?
Yeah, so I received the same thing as I did respond to those, and my responses for her were, she felt she did state were adequate in those concerns. I think because the main concern was that they wouldn't be able to meet the timelines due to required other departments that currently aren't providing the county with documents, continuing to not provide the county with documents. But that's not a real factor, because the documents that are necessary, that are needed, we have. We just don't have the bandwidth to go backwards in time to go evaluate them all. I think that the scope of the project is the completion of this portion of ensuring that the deposits and disbursements are made accurate, if not accurate, before the beginning of February.
Right.
And so, I think there's not many milestones to be met within that, because as each year gets reconciled through this detailed look, it only will bring on more into the next year. So if we said, that they're going to have 21 or 2021 done by this date and 22, 23 done by this date and they're going to have to do that to get to the end result anyways, so.
I also feel like that by creating milestones, we do have other parties involved in this audit process, being the districts, and we don't know how that's going to work as far as information retrieval and the ability or necessity of their involvement, with the auditors. So I wouldn't want to be conditioning payment on something that we don't have any control over.
Yeah. So
I kind of see this as, this whole thing is just a phase one, and I understand this is the foundation that has to be done first, just to make sure we have the treasury in order. Everybody knows, each district knows what they have, and if things are incorrect, we have the chance to correct them. My gut feeling tells me this will continue on past this through other departments. But at what point, I guess, after this, do they get into looking at other monies that we receive, whether it's grants or state money or federal money that would be restricted funds? I would assume that would be after all of this, and if there's a change order, then we do a deeper dive, but once we already know where exactly the money is at per district.
yeah.
Because I think I have a feeling it's going to drag on a little while.
Well, so preliminarily, that will be included into this process of receiving into the treasury and dispersing to the county what will cause the need for further investigation is if we don't find where the deposit matches the disbursement to the county,
Right.
in relations to some of those grants and things of that nature. Because then we're going to have to find out, well, where did it go?
Exactly.
Where is it sitting, and kind of thing, so.
Well, regarding that latter calculation, there was a period in 20, 21, 22, maybe it was 19, 20, and 21, when we were unable to produce a certifiable audit for the county. Mm-hmm. I think it was a 36-month period. Mm-hmm. This will be looking back through that period, that calendar period, so that we may, in anticipation, have to get our heads around the possibility of restatements at that level as well, to the audits that were done and the reports that were filed with the state, is my guess. Am I misreading the possibility of that?
No. The reality is we I don't think we really know the grasp of the possibilities that we're going to be facing, because there was literally seemingly very little controls over
Yeah.
the finances during that time period.
Okay, thank you.
So, yeah. So,
Well, I think we need to get it started.
I think we do.
well, then I would entertain a motion.
I will make a motion to approve the proposal from REDW to complete a forensic audit on Curry County finances.
Second.
Any further discussion?
No.
Perfect. With that, I will call for the question. Commissioner Coker,
Aye.
Commissioner Hollinger,
Yes.
and I as well. So Director Fitzgerald will also be moving forward with that. We can ask them to get us calendared. I know they are eagerly anticipating dispatching a team to move forward with this to meet our
Well, I
timelines.
saw in their bid that they're hoping to have the information by the middle of October in order to get started.
Yeah,
So we need to get that
Yeah, we'll
to them.
contact them today.
Okay.
great. The next up is approval of the order amending Resolution 25-01. This is a board-approved resolution declaring a local emergency in response to widespread flooding. While the resolution included a list of affected roads, Euchre Creek Road was inadvertently omitted. This order serves to amend the original resolution to formally include Euchre Creek Road as part of the declared emergency area.
I would
Seems
assume that
pretty
in,
straightforward.
in including this, it qualifies us for some relief funding for the repair.
That's the intention. That's the intention. I believe that we've missed the window for federal funding, but I'm reaching out to ODOT to see what we can do. The problem with this area is that the property line boundaries were very unclear. It was the road department's position that it was not the county's responsibility, but it was ODOT's. ODOT took the opposite position. I finally was able to get our county surveyor to go up and survey the area. He's been in contact with Logan Miles, who's the ODOT surveyor, I understand, and they have reviewed the various old property descriptions and the unclear grant language. Basically, what happened was the original old Highway 101 there by Ophir Road, that is Ophir Road now, was given to the county at that section when ODOT, established a new 101 back in 1962, and it's still kind of murky and unclear about just exactly how those transfers worked. But we're moving forward with ODOT. We'll see if we can get some money going with that. If we work as partners, I hold out hope we can get that done. In the meantime, also, I did meet with our lobbyists yesterday, and I alerted them to this issue, and they are on the lookout for federal emergency funding to address that in the event that we're unable to go by the normal route. So I was going to bring ODOT into that loop as well.
Okay.
Okay, well, it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah, well, I'll make a motion then to approve the order amending resolution 25-01.
Second.
Any further discussion? No. Okay, call for the question. Commissioner Coker,
Aye.
Commissioner Hollinger,
Yes.
and I as well. Next up is D, the CRO discussion. So I just wanted to update everybody on what has occurred most recently. I know that the both of you and myself have been working with the City of Brookings City Council and their city manager and chief of police and lieutenant on this project of providing a community resource officer for the harbor area. And multiple We've had multiple workshops regarding this topic. We approved the contract that had been discussed and negotiated with our county council and with their city manager. However, last night the Brookings City Council was unable to pass this agreement. So the reality is we still don't have this service. Currently, we have a full-time community resource officer position funded for the sheriff's office. We do have 6 applicants for this position that, and the sheriff has no interest in interviewing for this position. Now, we do have these opioid funds. We have a couple of different options. We can, direct those funds to be placed into the sheriff's office to add to the community resource officer positions to 1.5, and continue to hope that that the sheriff would want to provide this service to the community. We can set up a workshop to discuss how we want to try to move forward to best provide services utilizing these opioid funds for the community. We have a couple of different options. I know everyone worked really hard on this, including the city. In fact, it was brought to us by the chief as an option, and a disappointing outcome. Nonetheless, we need to plan and prepare to move forward. This is a service that is an extreme need. I don't know about the two of you, but I would go as far as to say daily correspondence from citizens regarding the need for these issues to be addressed. We found a way to try to address these issues. The sheriff's recent comments, if you guys just don't remember or need reminding, was that he had no anticipation of filling these positions right now. He's focused on filling jail positions. I will note that one of the applicants is, I believe, a road certified law enforcement officer who is currently working in the jail. So to essentially to provide this person with this opportunity would be no different than what is currently happening, which is deputies working in the jail while they are working to fill the jail. This person would just have the opportunity of, when the jail was filled, to be out providing this service, or in the meantime be able to provide this service. So I just the whole argument of waiting to focus on filling the jail while all of these other positions have highly qualified applicants seems short-sighted at best, a little irresponsible at worst, and definitely unfortunate for our community, who has literally been begging for this service to be provided. So, thoughts on that?
Disappointing for sure. Fine. Let's add some of this opioid money to this CRO position through the sheriff's office, and let's put it back on the sheriff to listen to his constituents to provide coverage for Harbor. And if he doesn't want to fill that need that they're asking for with this position that we're funding, well, then what? Is the Brookings City Council finally going to get it? You know, are they going to see the need and see that the cooperation with the sheriff isn't coming through? And then are they going to change their mind? You know, that's where I'm going with this.
Maybe. You know, it's, obviously, there's a lot to digest here, and we don't have to make any decisions. We can kind of sit on this for a little bit and see where time takes us as well. Mm-hmm. The one thing we do know is that we do currently have one position that is unfilled that would serve the needs of the entire county, including Harbor.
Okay.
That remains unfilled, that has been budgeted.
I just wanted to say that your point is well taken on the fact that if the full-time CRO position was filled, that would apply to the entire county and be some great first steps toward dealing with some of the issues that are out even in the national forest and places like that, where we can also look at additional ways of funding that kind of stuff through the I know that Patrick and I had been talking to Forest Service about those issues as well, and seeing if there's a way to coordinate some of that through the Good Neighbor Authority or Good Neighbor Agreement, and they expressed optimism that was the case. So if people were if county law enforcement was motivated to address this problem, there's funding from a variety of different sources. Regarding the issue of the halftime CRO position in Harbor, I just want to say that basically what I took away from that meeting last night was there were some people that didn't attend the workshop that then brought questions in later and said, like they were concerned about additional expenses that might be having to be borne by Brookings when it's really a county issue, and I think those are legitimate concerns, and I think that I'll be happy to take another look at that contract and make sure that we have the language in there that insulates Brookings all the way, so that they're not undertaking the burden that is really the responsibility of Curry County law enforcement. So
you think there could be an avenue in which we can answer a few questions and get this done?
I do.
Okay. Well, I don't want to abandon that if it's still a viable option. I will just we'll table this discussion if you guys are fine with that, and let Director Fitzgerald work with the city manager, see if we can rectify some of those concerns that were brought up in the meeting, and get this thing over the finish line.
Let's do it.
I do. And Ted, thank you for the optimism. Threading the needle on this is not going to be easy.
Right. Always eternally optimistic, Lynn.
That's what I noticed.
Okay, next is E, and that is the District 4 AOC meeting follow-up. First of all, thank you all for attending. I think that was one of the best attended AOC District 4 meetings that I've been to. Last year I think we were left with 2 commissioners from Coos and 2 commissioners from Curry and no other participation. And so to have participation from all 4 counties and was really good. Yeah. And a lot of really good dialogue. So Yes, so what are your thoughts, Lynn?
Well, I was very pleased that I was able to go. Thank you guys for being encouraging to have me make certain that I buttoned up and did it. Because I did find the networking just really, really great. I thought the discussion of the issues in the roundtables that we were a part of as we went around the room on so many different issues. But what I understood was that the commonality of the issues. Revenue is tight across our district in a way that it's incapacitating the organizations from delivering the kind of services that their voters expect. And it's putting a crunch on how people are doing their jobs every day. And the opportunity to keep that dialogue going as a result of yesterday's discussion was meaningful to me because I think I sensed this around the table that every leader that was there was intent on finding actionable items that they could take back home at some point and execute in order to address the compelling issues that they're facing. So it was an informative meeting, and I think there's a pathway to improvement here in Curry County as a result of those relationships. And I think that, as a brain trust, can add value to our understanding of the options that we've got.
Yeah, absolutely.
Agreed. I think one of the biggest takeaways was essentially the consensus to agree on continuing the dialogue of maximizing resources by doing some really deep internal looks into how we can share services.
Yeah.
You know, so, you know, I know that some of the things that were pretty low-hanging fruit that were discussed was, shared services for PIO, grant writing.
Sanitarian.
That wasn't brought up.
Wasn't brought up, but that was something we've discussed
Yeah,
recently.
for sure. That would be another one that would be important to bring up for
Yeah.
sure.
Mhm.
I wish we actually would have brought that up because I know that's a shared need as well.
Yeah.
And the reality is, you know, Commissioner Coker, that why I believe all the districts have a very similar path is that, you know, we're all equally timber dependent
Well,
and have built tax bases off of that dependency.
I think if the other counties saw anything, is that we're essentially their crystal ball. They all recognized, you know, again, and stated yesterday that they're a year behind us in having to make the same cuts that we had to make last year.
Indeed.
And so, of course, they would be motivated to want to help share resources and partner with us on, you know, the forest restoration or timber agreements with the Forest Service and Department of Forestry, as well as other resources that we can share across the lines and help each other out with, so that it's a much less burden on all the constituents. So I know there's a meeting coming up, I want to say it was the second week of October, that was mentioned with one of the foundations, I guess, that might be interested in wanting to help facilitate. So I know yesterday it was also brought that or recommended that there would be a liaison commissioner from each of the counties, and I would volunteer myself to be that liaison to continue pushing that and to work with the other counties and AOC to see about making this a reality coming up in the future.
I have no objection to that. What I would say is that, you know, you may have some initial organizing to do,
Absolutely.
you know, and so I guess the point is don't, everybody gets tied up in their own things. So,
Yeah.
you know, try to really press to get this discussion
Yeah.
some legs.
Yeah. I will definitely be following up with Gina at AOC to make sure that conversations start happening here real soon.
Cool.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any other discussion? Okay, well, if there's nothing else, then tomorrow we have the DCO meeting at 10, and followed by our planning
Hearing.
hearings at 11, and again at 1, I believe. So other than that, I will just remind you guys, on Friday, I have the ONC quarterly meeting that will be in Lakeside. So I will be there on Friday. Okay?
Sounds good.
All right. Well, Director Fitzgerald, thank you, and appreciate we get this transfer station and this audit going. That's really good momentum.
Did he have anything else we needed to kick around?
Did you have anything else you wanted us to consider, Director?
Not at this time. Not where I've got things that I'm working on. I'm having to retitle some vehicles here that in 2023, when vehicles were purchased, it turns out that several of them were titled in the name of the Curry County Sheriff's Office, and that has resulted in the county not being provided with documentations regarding registrations and ongoing registrations. We were made aware of that late last week by the sheriff, and so we have looked into that, and it turns out it's a problem. The sheriff's truck that is his gray truck, the one he's been driving since 2023, is the focus of this, and it's titled in Curry County Sheriff's Office. That was done without the consent of the county commission, and so of course that's not a binding or real registration. However, the sheriff was asked about we've asked him repeatedly for the schedules of which vehicles are being used by the sheriff's office, and that particular vehicle was omitted. So what it looks like to me from the records that I've been able to see is that the sheriff's been driving his truck, his county truck, for the last 3 years without any insurance on it. So I'm addressing that by retitling the vehicle into the correct name of the county, and then we'll proceed. I've asked the sheriff to provide me with the truck's location, and I've also asked him to please not operate the vehicle now that we know that he was doing so without insurance. That has to stop. So that's my only current update. The thing that's taking up a lot of my time, just straightening out that unnecessary mess.
Order of magnitude, how many vehicles do you think are mistitled and not insurable?
I want to say 5 or 6, not very many. It seemed to have been an initiative that was launched by the sheriff, and that this is obviously a year before the budget cuts. So it really has. It seems to have been sort of some sort of attempt to establish some kind of illegal autonomy. Basically, what we're I guess it would be unfair to say that that the focus of the commissioner's suit regarding a declaratory judgment to determine the roles and responsibilities of the sheriff, that actually didn't spring from the budget cuts of 2024. It turns out it was something that had been in the works by the sheriff and his staff for at least a year previously. So that's why these are important questions to ask, and obviously driving a vehicle for 3 years without insurance exposes the county to extreme liability. It might be a way to save money on your internal costs within your department, but last I checked, insurance companies don't pay when you get in a wreck, and you've been intentionally not paying your insurance.
Well, that's really grim news, but thank you.
Well, just kind of par for the course. So anyway, we'll continue to unravel that. I'll see what I can do on that front. I'll let you know.
Thank you. Okay. All right. Anything else?
No.
All right. We will go ahead and adjourn this meeting at 11:45 on September 20th.